finding some cooler air off the Atlantic. Temperatures today in Boston have been only around 50. Tonight they're in the upper 40s, and as the line of very dangerous storms have moved east through Connecticut, they are showing signs of finally weakening. Let's check in on the severe weather. We've updated this map for you for the rest of the overnight hours, and you notice the red is out of the picture. In fact, that watch, which was issued earlier for the New York City area, the tri-state area, and parts of Connecticut too, that has all now been canceled. It was supposed to be up until 1 a.m., but the storms are racing at 50 miles an hour and basically move so quickly and out of the area, now the box has been canceled. So we have no severe thunderstorm watch areas for anywhere in the country, but we still have a lot of storms on radar all the way from Connecticut and Rhode Island back through the Carolinas and into Texas tonight, where heavy rains continue around the San Antonio and Austin area. Let's go to our Doppler radar from the tri-state area. We've been showing you this all evening, and we want to show you what's going on as far as these storms continuing to move through Connecticut now, around the Hartford area, down towards the New Haven area. And there's that squall line, which had a history of producing tremendous winds, 70 to 75 mile an hour wind gust in Pennsylvania, northwest Jersey, and plenty of trees and blown down over power lines, no doubt some power outages. But you can see as it moves off to the east into this very cool air in this area running around 50 degrees, it really is finding an unfavorable environment. Not only are the temperatures lower, but the dew point temperature, which measures the moisture in the atmosphere, is running in the 40s. So very stable environment here, and it was generally the conventional wisdom that these storms are going to weaken as they continue to move off to the east. But still, a lot of heavy rain, so watch out around Norwich down to New London, and even out on Long Island, out towards Suffolk County. Still some pretty heavy rains and still some gusty winds, but all the warnings, I mentioned the watch has been canceled, but I failed to mention and tell you that all the severe thunderstorm warnings which were issued earlier, they've all now expired. So better news all around. We'll get this rain through the area and get it out of town before rush hour tomorrow morning in New York City, Hartford, and even in Boston. The brunt of this rain will certainly be out of the way, at least the heavier rains, before you come on in on, say, 93 southbound of the Mass Pike. Now, as we extend our view, let's show you the temperatures. Just want to visually show you what's going on as far as that cool air, which you've been dealing with all day long in Boston. Your high temperature only up around 50, low 50s today in Boston. With that front in here, you were in the mid-80s in New York City and in the mid-90s in Washington. In fact, Dave Schwartz will show you some records around D.C. So it's this very strong line of storms moving into this very cool, stable Atlantic air mass, and that is taking them slowly down towards their dissipation. And there's the line continuing to move east and weakening. We have other showers and storms out to the west of Baltimore and D.C. now approaching the Skyline Drive. We'll move into the Shenandoah Valley and expect a few showers in D.C. and Baltimore by tomorrow morning. Then that cold front will move on through. As we extend our view southwest, Nashville, you've had some severe weather tonight. Still some pretty good storms now roaming towards the Chattanooga area from the north and west. Those too should weaken in the next couple of hours. And the heavier rains around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, some of you have picked up 2 inches of rain this evening. They have now moved off to the south and west of the area. Had some heavier rains in Kaufman County, and those two have moved out of the area into Ennis County over towards Tyler. You could get some rain. The storms continuing around Waco, Austin too, heavy rainfalls, and these have been slow-moving cells this evening. And as a result, we still tonight, for the overnight hours, have flash flood watches for this entire area because the ground is relatively saturated, and with this additional heavy rain moving in, there could be some localized flooding. We'll certainly get those flash flood warnings out to you as quickly as possible. In the meantime, recapping those of you in Connecticut, the New York City area, and into Providence and Boston. Your severe weather threat is rapidly diminishing. Boston and Providence, nothing to worry about except for some heavy rainfall moving in overnight tonight. Now, with a recap on today's hot stuff, East Coast and West Coast, let's go back to Dave Schwartz.
That's right, Mike. I'll tell you, we would take one of those showers that hit New York City in California, where it's been so hot in the Central Valley and in Southern California. Temperature warmed to 111 today in Death Valley. And in Sacramento, well, we were back between 95 and 100, depending on which thermometer you were looking at. The heat was rising off of the pavement. Folks were out in shorts and shirt sleeves. A hat and sunglasses would be a good idea. And a shady spot, also perfect for this kind of day. The humidity was tolerable, so 95 degrees was